We start the noon today with a nationwide outage that is affecting the Colorado DMV right now. The department tells us they're going to be reaching out to anyone who has an appointment today to reschedule. This is because of an outage with the American Association of Motor Vehicle Administrators. So most driver license services, including online options, are impacted. You can still go in for driver license knowledge tests, endorsement tests, and commercial driver's license instruction permit tests. You can also go in for scheduling hearings and requesting some records as well. Unfortunately, there is no timeline currently for when services will be restored. This is new video from this morning of John and Carrie Halford at the El Paso County Court. The couple ran the Return to Nature funeral home in Penrose, where investigators found nearly 200 bodies. They were supposed to be arraigned today, but a judge delayed that until June 6th. In court this morning, the district attorney brought up concerns over John's lowered bond. We also got some clarification over Carrie Halford's court-ordered sobriety test. She did show up and provide a sample, but that check-in was not properly recorded. The two are facing more than 200 charges each, including money laundering and abuse of a corpse. John and Carrie Halford will be tried together. Both are expected to plead not guilty. Every charge they are facing is eligible for probation. Meanwhile, demolition still hasn't started on the funeral home. The EPA has been struggling to find a place to dump the debris. Previous start dates have fallen through, and originally the EPA was planning to take that waste to a landfill in Pueblo, but the city said no because of concerns of the contaminated materials. The EPA continues to say that there are no public health risks associated with the demolition. Families whose loved ones were found in that building say that they are so frustrated that it's still standing.
I still have to drive past this building and know that my husband was laying in there, that I can't get the closure I need to fully move on with my life.
Fremont County says it has picked out a new landfill. The county says it is confident that location will not be backing out. If that is the case, the demolition could start next month. Want to give you a live look around the state right now from the high country and just down to the city as well. We've got the blue skies and another gorgeous day ahead of us. But Keely, as we are inching closer and closer to the weekend, we're looking at some more snow, dare I say.
Absolutely, and it's not really until the end of the weekend. So Saturday is looking fantastic. Tomorrow's looking great. Saturday's looking great for sunshine and above normal temperatures. And then we have a system moving in, a storm system moving in, basically Saturday night into Sunday. It's going to start with snow in the mountains and then a little bit of rain here at the lower elevation Sunday, and that will transition to snow into Monday. So let's get outside, take advantage of this beautiful weather. We've got beautiful blue skies, temperatures around very nice. We're looking at temperatures already in the 60s across the plains right now, and 42 in Leadville, 51 in Eagle. It is going to be a beautiful day. Taking a look at our HD Doppler radar, we are quiet, not too much happening. We'll get a little moisture moving in from the northwest, and that's going to bring us a little bit of light snow up there above about 9,000 feet. But for the metro area today, warm and mild, mostly sunny, 67 degrees. Mostly sunny tomorrow, 63, a little bit breezy in the evening. And we talked about that snow. I'll give you a little look at the snow. We're getting a little bit more. We're certainly going to get some more up there in the high country too. Kind of break down that timeline coming up in just a bit.
All right, we appreciate it. Thank you, Keely. Well, we do have some more details about the deaths of two people killed at one of Denver's hotels housing people experiencing homelessness. A medical examiner says someone shot Dustin Dunn several times just before 3 a.m. Saturday at the former DoubleTree on Quebec near I-70. The other victim, Sandra Cervantes, died from a single gunshot. Police have not identified or arrested a suspect. Now Denver is adding more security at all of its hotel shelters, and it took more than 800 911 calls to those 4 hotels across Denver to get that to happen. More than 400 of those happened at the DoubleTree since November 1st of last year.
Added 24/7 DPD presence. We've added 24/7 private security presence. And we've also created a check-in system that every single person that's coming through the front door has to swipe in order to get into this building, so that only the guests of this building can be here.
There were also security cameras and guards at every entrance, and before this week, none of that had existed. Denver Fire tells us the station closest to the former DoubleTree responded to 158 more calls in January and February than in the same time last year. That increase in calls is now changing how they're responding. They're working to bring in a medical truck for those calls so that they don't have to run the fire truck every time they're getting a call from the shelter. Well, police are investigating after people at North High School say someone fired shots into a car in one of the parking lots. No one was hurt. The school says someone randomly shot at a parked car in the lot on the west side of the building and then took off. School leaders say no one was in the car or that lot. The school was put on a secure perimeter after the shooting. Right now, we're still learning more about the possible suspect. Well, people are zooming through school and construction zones going way faster than they should be. And now Colorado State Patrol has a warning for those drivers. 9 News reporter Courtney Yoon has more from Adams County.
Colorado State Patrol says that speeding citations in school and construction zones were up by 12% last year. Now troopers are calling out unsafe drivers, saying that workers and kids' lives are at risk. Now the top 3 counties with the most speeding citations are El Paso County with 222, Larimer County with 131, and Adams County with 127. Mesa and Garfield counties were also in the top 5 according to Colorado State Patrol data. Overall, troopers cited 1,237 people for speeding in a school or construction zone in 2023. CSP says these zones have lower speed limits for a reason: to protect students and roadside workers. Last year, troopers fielded nearly 30,000 calls related to road rage or aggressive driving, accounting for nearly half of the calls to their tip line. Even outside of these zones, speeding has been a big issue. Just a week ago in Commerce City, police put up new message boards in intersections where people tend to speed, warning drivers to slow down, and they plan to add more of those message boards as well. In any case, troopers are asking people to put down the distractions, put down your phone, and keep your eyes on the road, and to especially pay attention for signs that ask you to slow down. In Adams County, Courtney Yoon, 9 News.
Right now, Greeley police are looking for the driver who hit a 17-year-old boy while he was riding his motorcycle. The teen says he was riding his motorcycle down Highway 85 in Greeley on Monday, and then he says an SUV coming the opposite way turned in front of him and then hit him. He broke the toes on his left foot, needed surgery to repair his injuries. Now he's recovering in the hospital and says he wants the driver who hit him to take accountability.
Traumatized me, so I just want to make sure that all bikers out there, you guys ride safe. I probably won't be on a bike ever again.
Greeley police are looking for the driver of a dark-colored SUV. Unfortunately, we don't have more details than that. Calls for help in Weld County could take longer to answer. The sheriff's office is saying they need to move around resources to address staffing shortages at the jail. The sheriff's office says mandatory overtime and recruiting has been an ongoing problem for 2 years now. So they're temporarily suspending services like animal control. 911 calls will be answered on a case-by-case basis, and those deputies will be moved to staff the jail. The cut in services, though, that was a surprise to county commissioners who were dipped into the reserve to give the office $650,000.
$650,000 is quite a chunk of money. That's nothing to scoff at.
We're appreciative of everything we can get. That money they offered us really only addresses part of the concern. That's our deputies.
The sheriff's office says some 911 calls may not get an in-person response. They're going to be handled on the phone, or the caller could be directed to submit information online. This morning, the DOJ filed an antitrust lawsuit against Apple. That lawsuit claiming Apple is monopolizing the smartphone market, harming some apps, streaming services, and competing products, and then ultimately driving up costs for consumers. Critics have long said that Apple did so with restrictive App Store terms and high fees. They were also claiming Apple was tightly controlling how third-party tech companies interact with its products and services. Apple is now the latest major tech giant to be sued by the federal government since the company was named in a sprawling 2020 House report. That report found Apple, Meta, Google, and Amazon all held monopoly power.